And here we are. Dream.
Dream, 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 dream. Dream, dream, dream when I want you. And all your charms when I want you. Within my arms, all I have to do is dream a little dream of you.
So hi, everybody. Welcome. And as you can see, there's the three of us here only tonight. Kelly's got a chance to get away with her man, and we always like that. And Carolyn and Peter and Antonio the Bear are all watching, so we're glad to have them, as well as the rest of you who I will definitely say hello to. Ness is here, and I'm going to bring her on in a few minutes so that she can tell us a dream, so we can do it. So if that's all right with you, Ness, I see you back there, and I know you're here. So thank you, sweetheart. Yeah, and I hope everybody is having a good day. I think a lot of you were over in when I was on with Marianne, and thanks for coming. It really was a wonderful show, and Marianne was so excited. She just thought it was wonderful, and I think I've nailed her down to another time next month. So we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. She's very busy, but so am I. So the busy people usually you can eventually get because they make time. They make time for you. So. Yeah. So thanks everybody for that. That was a wonderful welcome for her. So hello, Froxy and Annie and Patricia Francino and Willow. And who else came in? Well, Ness is here, as I said, and we'll bring her on in a few minutes. And Annie, it's good to see you, girl. I haven't seen you for a while. It's very nice to see you. And I have a dream from Froxy on here tonight. Anybody else? I see that a few of you have already put something up. Oh, Willow, you're so funny. You watch some pimple popping videos to pass time?
I saw that. I was like, ooh.
There's some other ones that are so disgusting, like really bad, but you almost can't turn your eyes away. I don't know.
Oh, I can.
I have to find more important things to do. They're calming to you? Okay. All right.
Okay. Yeah.
Hi, Christine. Yeah. And Annie's bringing the love and beverages. Thank you, dear.
Wow. It sounds lovely. Yeah.
And I'm Willow. I got your dream. Linda Kennedy, I got your dream. Hi, Gray. And I said hello already. Carolyn Moira's back. Ginny F, thank you, dear. Marby's here. And Teresa H is here. And Randy's here. CC99, thank you for being here. Rossi. McGrill. Wow. So I'm going to bring this up because it's an appropriate place to do it. Hi, Barbara Nesper. Anybody that is a channel member gets a free dream class, and the class is the 27th, the 4th, and the 11th of May at 9 a.m. Pacific. So, remember 3 hours difference in the East, 2 in the Central Zone. And we've already got quite a number of people that are interested. So for the members, I'll put the link up on the Zoom meetings. It will always be the same link. So you can just come on in. For those of you who might want to come in and are not members, we want you. I'm out asking for $33 for that. And it will go to Professor Sandra in the shelter. I've already sent Professor Sandra almost $1,500. I know. And she said she's so grateful. She's so grateful. She's so grateful. And then today she said, I think I'm really overwhelmed. Because I give, it's a little bit, like 200, 300, it comes in that way. And I said, good, I'm glad you're overwhelmed because you should be. You need to be loved. You need to know you're loved and you're appreciated and you're cared for. And I said, I felt that way when people did it for me back in 22, when everybody helped me out and I needed it. And she's gobsmacked by it. She can't even put, and I said, we really want you to find a solution, not just this, just bit by bit. And she said she's working on it, and I have to hope she is, so that she can get out of there, because it's just not a good place for her to be.
No.
And, yeah. It's very sad. But she just, every time I send one to her, she's like, oh, I don't know. How do I keep saying thank you? I mean, I feel like that isn't enough. And I said, it's plenty. We don't need to hear. It's all right. It's all right. So thank you to everybody who's been so kind to Professor Sandra. Yeah. The show with Marianne hit 100. We had about 100 something people watching. That was really awesome. So thanks. Hi, Jen.
Good for you.
Ocean View. See who else. Mary's here again. And it's good to see you, Mary. And Jules, learning to listen. Randy's here again. And thank you for being here, everybody. Always appreciate you. Always appreciate you. Sam B, you're watching from Australia. God bless you. Do you come from the land down under? We like to sing here, so I hope that.
And it hasn't stopped in my head now. You got to finish.
Right? Yeah.
God, when that first came out, I loved it so much.
I know. Yeah. We're gonna look at some dreams, Gray. No dream, Randy. You'll get it eventually.
Rossi's got one.
Rossi's got one this time. Oh, good.
Yeah.
Patricia, I'll go back and look at it. Was it in the very beginning?
I'll look for it.
I can't tell you because I'm on my phone and I don't know the times.
Oh, here it is. I have it, Patricia. Yes, I have it. Thank you. I just didn't remember that I checked it off. Yep, got it. Got it.
Everybody in the chat.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. Let's see. I thought, Randy, your cow hoof trimming. Oh, is that
what is that, Randy?
I don't know. They have to put the nail right into their foot. Well, they do that with horses, I think.
But they don't feel it because
they don't, because it's like cartilage or something. Okay.
Yeah, it's a fingernail and it's really built up.
Okay. Hi, Lorraine. Or isn't that also where you get gelatin from?
Yep.
I thought
and LePage's glue. Remember LePage's glue? Legitimately, it's the glue factory.
Oh, thanks, Andrea. It's good to see you. And Jen, you got a great reading from Teri and Jean. Oh, that's wonderful. They are wonderful.
It was so much fun. Yeah.
Oh,
do you remember how you could get cow hooves in the pet stores back in the 80s and 90s?
I remember.
Santa Claus used to leave the reindeer hooves for the dogs. That's what I told the kids they were. They were reindeer.
Oh dear. So yes, everybody's going to have to sleep tonight, but I will tell you this: do what Marianne told you to do. Take just regular table salt, rub it on yourself, rub it, and stand in the shower and let it go down the drain. She said you'll sleep better than you've ever slept.
Oh, I'm going to do that tonight.
Yeah,
that's incredible.
She recommended that. I know, and she said you get all the goo off you. The mall cheese or whatever the people.
Yeah.
Or just the pain that you pick up being an empath.
Yeah. Warrior Girl, I'm glad she read for you. I didn't know she was going to, and I'm glad you got that message. You needed that message. Yes.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Hi, Dr. Ann. Thank you for being here before you go do your thing tonight. Hi, Lori. I didn't get to say hi to everybody last hour, so I did see you all, though, and I appreciate you. All right. Oh, Ness is talking about having a reading with Teri. That's so sweet.
Yeah, so sweet. Thank you, Ness.
Epsom salt baths work. Yes. Awesome. And Viviani, I'm glad you got your reading as well. So it just worked itself out. All right. So Diana has been very busy doing Akashic Records readings. Teri she and I are vying for the most shows this week, I think. I don't know. It's like we're both going bonkers, so to speak, but
yeah. Kind of.
But it's such a fun ride, isn't it?
It is a fun ride.
It is a lot of fun. Yeah. Sometimes it just comes together like that, and you're like, at the beginning of the week, I look at it and I'm like, what did I do? And then I get to that day, and I'm like, oh, this is fun.
Yeah.
This is working out.
And these two lovely ladies are going to join me this Thursday for meeting with the mediums. So you'll see us again. And then Friday, I think Teri and I are going to be doing our show again. She had her brother here last Friday. So
yeah, oracles and archetypes. Yeah.
I love that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Andrea, lots of good juju sent to you for cancer removal. Good for you. Good for you.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Lots of wonderful, they're going to get it all and it's going to be contained and you're going to do fine. Yeah, there you go. All right. So
Absolutely.
I'm going to bring in Ness and she's got a dream that she's going to share. And so I'm going to let her do that first so she can go back to the chat if that's what she wants or go wherever
My
she'd
jacket
like.
matches your hair color.
I know.
You want it? Here, I'll give it to you.
We both got the Barbie memo.
I love it. Exactly. Exactly.
If you guys haven't seen Saturday Night Live from Saturday night, you must. They had a Beavis and Butthead. Oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
It was so good. Okay, sorry. All right.
I'll be looking for it.
Okay.
Yes, we'll check it out. Okay, so I had a dream that had like many chapters, but I'm curious about more of the dominant chapter. So in the main part of the dream, I was at a family wedding. And it was like all the families coming together, almost like that Mamma Mia effect, where we're like, it was like almost a destination wedding.
Oh.
Because we were all from different parts of the globe, and then we were all meeting one place. And it was so interesting because my father's line, many years in government and agriculture, and my mother's line, very military and war and trade. And it's interesting because they both, my mom and dad, immigrated here, and they have a different social currency here than their lineages really represent. And it was so interesting because the people at this wedding were very smart, and very. It was easy to talk with them and communicate with them, and they were very. It was interesting because that was not the experience when I was younger, interacting and having that language gap. And I'm just curious about it because it was. I usually get annoyed with my mom's side of the family or annoyed with my dad's side of the family, but it wasn't. I could see a lot of myself in them. They were very, very smart, but my mother's side of the line is very smart. Like they had a war conflict happen where they lost a lot of their wealth. And so that was interesting. It was this wedding and ceremony and things you had to do, and then negotiating and meeting family members that you didn't know. And then I had other things that happened. I had that Disneyland thing that also happened too in the dream that I was sharing with Allie earlier. And then I also had this like workout video that I used to do in the beginning of the pandemic. I was also, I guess, working out for the wedding or something like that. And I'm just curious, what is that? Like they all felt healthy. They all felt like healthy family members, which is not my experience of them in this plane.
Wow.
Wishful thinking.
Are some of these people on the other side?
Most of them are on the other side.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that now I think where you all are going with that.
Yeah.
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 There.
You are intellectually at an even level. It sounds like you're at this celebration, and it's a marriage of intellect and force.
Very fancy wedding. Like it was a very methodical, high detail, high culture, high art. Like it was a very. It wasn't like a McDonald's wedding. Not that there's nothing wrong.
No, I get you.
But there was just like a lot of culture and intention.
Sure. And the intellect. Now you're on the same playing field. The parallels of lives between. Now they can see where you're coming from. Now they can see where they did incorrectly.
And
well,
you can understand them now. Yeah.
Yeah. And
wow.
A wedding, well, the other side is celebration. Nobody ever wants to come back from a near-death experience. They want to stay. So,
yeah, it was quite celebratory. And we were like, I was in line to get food with them. And the food was like amazing and very, actually the food did feel alien-esque. Like the food wasn't, It's
It
very,
was a banquet. It was a banquet.
yeah, it was a banquet.
Yeah. Yeah.
But everyone was dressed
Nirvana.
so well in the venue,
Uh-huh.
but then it's so interesting.
Well, it feels like they were in their higher selves. Like,
Exactly.
they're not in their conscious or subconscious. They're on the other side, and you're dealing with their higher self. So there's that field that you're dealing with. That's like there aren't any of the constructs, limited belief systems that we have here.
That's right.
That kind of kept things different, right? So that's not there anymore. And then the marriage, a combination of the divine and feminine and masculine.
Mhm.
So, and that food, that's like divinity, right? Like nirvana.
Uh-huh.
So it's just, you guys are all eating at the same banquet now, which says a lot for you, Ness.
It
Yeah,
does.
and
Ness.
it was
your
someone's
growth.
house. It was actually someone's house. It wasn't at a temple. We were at someone's house.
Mhm.
And I was actually
Mhm.
staying in the house. I was staying in a room over, which is why I was doing the workout video. And then
So
I had
you
to
had
think-
comfort. You had comfort. You had it was like a home environment, right?
yeah, it was a really nice room. It wasn't like
Mhm.
super fancy, but it was pretty deep. Like, yeah, I mean, it was nice.
Yeah.
It was a nice room
Yeah.
with a view. And
Mhm.
then I would leave that room and leave that side of the house and then come over to where everyone
Mhm.
else was.
Mhm. Mhm.
It's very
The comfort of your relatives, the comfort of when you were little, and it was, you didn't understand the difference between the military style
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's just
Mhm.
the warmth.
You
and
have
the-
now a level playing
Yeah.
field.
that's
Yeah.
accurate.
Oh, yeah.
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 That's accurate. It could feel like that Aquarius pure
Yeah.
energy, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. If you can remove the ego bits and you
Yeah.
can remove the things, can you actually meet each other?
Sure.
And so that was what happened. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. The other thing is when you're dead, you get buried in a cemetery, let's say, and it isn't, you don't get buried with all the bank presidents or the presidents of the United. You get buried next to the poor guy, the rich guy. It doesn't matter. Everybody's on a level playing field. So even though your parents came from different backgrounds and different ways of being, the people that are dead are all on the level. They are too. But
Yeah.
they're including you because now you're old enough to understand and you're old enough to meet their level and get something.
And what you had just said, Ness, about that leveling out, that's the paradox of it all. That brings us together. There's the ego and there's the higher self. And you're looking at the ego or the higher self in a judgment way. No, you get to a place where it's no longer polarity. It is, you're seeing the whole picture.
Well, like, why can't I have that here?
Right?
We all want to know.
I was like, this was so easy. It was easy to talk to people and move around and navigate. I'm like, oh, this is kind of like how it should be.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Inquiring minds want to know.
So if you could flip it, because actually sometimes we go into our dreams and they're like awful and we just want to wake up and we don't, because reality is a much better place to be. But in your case, it's a much better place to be in your dreams than it is to be here. But I think you can bring that back. I think you can do that because I don't think you'd repeat that with other younger people that might be coming up behind you. You wouldn't say, oh, you don't understand, you're too little.
No.
Yeah. You'll take it forward. Yeah.
That's true. And I appreciate Lorraine's comment too about.
Yeah, I know.
It's very different. There was no hierarchies though. There wasn't like younger. We were all, and it was so, it's so different in terms of like what people could be if they weren't, whatever their human condition.
Yep. Okay. That's the hope anyway. Yeah.
Okay.
So you brought hope to your life is what you did.
Yeah, it was like a vision of what could be. Yeah, I could totally see that. Yeah.
And the devastation of war and what it does to the psyche, let alone the loss that your family felt because their standard of living had changed.
Yeah.
Because
it was a very traumatic set of,
You're having some really good informative dreams and you're remembering them. So that's big.
Yeah, well, I didn't have a dream to share here. And then the last night, this morning, I was like, oh, here's a Whopper.
Here it is.
Oh, and today's Tuesday. So
Asking you shall receive. There you
it's
go.
perfect timing. Okay,
Well,
thank you, Three. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
That was
Thanks,
beautiful. Ness.
That was,
All right.
Nice
yeah.
job. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Take care.
Thanks. Ness.
Okay, thank you. So I'm just going to bring up something because Andrea was on when I was watching. I think it was when you were on with Angela, Diana, and I
Okay.
said I had a dream that
Yes.
became precognitive. So Andrea's got things she's got to do. So I'm not going to go into too much about it, except that last week I had a dream that, and I talked about it here, and it was all about martial arts and empowerment and getting shot
Yeah.
and all that, airplanes and different planes and Benedict Cumberbatch for some reason.
Yes.
So he was
Yeah. Yeah.
So all of you told me about Doctor Strange,
Yes.
and I had never watched I'd never seen a, like a trailer for it. I've never seen anything about it. I didn't know anything about it. So Keith and I watched it on Saturday night. Well, the first thing I see is that, of course, he's a doctor who's lost all his powers. So he turns to metaphysics, which is my husband in a lot of ways, because right now he can't work. So that was, and then there was karate in the movie. They were all doing all kinds of karate stuff in the movie. And then the doctor removed a bullet from somebody's head. Yeah. And I thought that was interesting. And Benedict Cumberbatch was Doctor Strange. And everything that showed up, I got goosebump after goosebump. It was like I had precognition about that movie. And it all just fell right into place.
It's how your life is like that movie.
Yes.
And the fact that you'd never seen it before is stunning.
Yeah.
And don't you feel like when the MC Escher scenes come out in that, don't you feel like that's a dream? That's the dream world that I end up in a lot, probably both of you as well. Most everybody in the chat as well. And I did say that it had also been made a series, but I have to correct myself because it isn't a series like, it's a series of movies that he appears.
Yes, and we watched the second one, and I did nothing. I didn't.
But then there's a couple others that are later, like the Thor, I think, is the second one, and it's like, But when you get to the last one where everybody's in it, it's fun because Dr. Strange has a sense of humor about his shit. Cape and telling it to leave him alone and knock it off.
But honestly, I felt as though, it was precognition of a movie that I never knew existed.
Exactly.
And the other thing was the reality at the time, of course, there's a lot of time slippage and other things and beautiful graphics. So the movie's from 2016. So if you're interested in what I really believe to be a metaphysical movie, I really do. The second one, I didn't feel that way, but I did the first one. And the second one is about the multiverses, which sounded like it would be good, but to me, it wasn't. That doesn't, maybe just because I didn't need to see it like I did the first one. So thank you to all of you who recommended it. I'm glad I got to watch it. Yes, Warrior Girl, it is showing us the future. Hi, Angela. It's nice to see you.
Just talking about you.
Yeah. Source sent the movie dream because it's preparing you to look at the future precognitive dreams. Oh, Rossi, you're so right. Thank you, dear.
That.
It is. There's so much that there is so much that we don't know, and we have the capability of knowing it all.
Yeah.
But we have we just have a lot of untapped stuff going on. So,
right.
Yeah.
No, and you remember it.
Yeah. I don't know that I'm a master, but maybe I got my black belt. Yeah. So that's okay. I never get to finish.
What comes after a black belt? Isn't there?
Actually, there's 6 or 8 black belts you can get, like black belt 1, 2, and you can almost levitate by the last one.
I like that one. I can't wait to see you do that.
Yeah.
And you'll have Dr. Strange's cloak as well.
That's right. So thank you, Annie. Thank you so much, everybody. And Andrea, that was it, but it was amazing. So Teri has a dream. Do you want to share the dream, Teri?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
there's just a portion of it that I'm
Okay.
remembering. And I've been having all these dreams about resetting and things like that. But they were showing me my body in a coffin, and it was a glass coffin.
Mhm.
And they said this is what we have to do 3 times. And this is for all of us that are going through this different thing. But we have to die 3 times. And it was the ceremony that was involved in it, and that walking into that silence, or that peace, that awareness.
Yeah.
And it was really amazing.
So you saw yourself in this glass casket, so to speak, or glass enclosure.
Yeah.
But then you were back outside of it, being told something?
I wasn't inside. I mean, my body was inside it, but I wasn't inside
You
it.
weren't. Yeah.
I was watching it happen.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And they said, you have to do this
Die 3
ceremony.
times.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, go ahead, Dia.
well,
Yeah.
I was just going to ask, I mean, since we are capable of dying 1,000 times in a lifetime, right?
Yeah.
Were they referring to just the lifetime we're in, or were they referring to repeated contracts and bringing the soul back and having to go through it again?
That is a really good question. I felt like at the time that it was in this lifetime,
Okay.
that it was occurring in this dimension.
Mm-hmm.
Sleeping Beauty. Yeah.
Sleeping
Snow
Beauty,
White.
Where's
Snow
my
White.
friend?
Yeah. Okay. Okay. And the power of 3, Rousey says.
Yeah.
I like that.
Power of 3.
Roxy says our old humanities are being reborn. I like all this. Transparency, hypnicity says.
Oh,
Boy, is it ever. Oh, I love that hypnicity. See, that mushy third eye of yours is really working.
I know, it's really something else. Look, and Willis says maybe it was a NDE, which is possible.
It could be, Willow. Yeah.
It's interesting. My first thought was, don't cry for me, Argentina, because Evita Peron was put in a glass casket. Of course, there's been a lot of other huge people like Stalin, I believe, and a couple others that were in there. But yeah. Oh, 3 deaths in 3 worlds. Maybe Annie says part of ascension.
Annie.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were showing me that this was part of the process that we had to go through now.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Well,
That makes a lot of sense, Annie. That's great.
And how many have you felt as if like, whew, how did I get out of that one? But really felt that you were tasting death at the moment you were living through it.
Yeah.
And I don't mean the near-death experiences, necessarily. Just.
Well, it's interesting, and reminded me something else about that movie. Remember when I said it was like my soul left my body and it was white and I could see it? In the movie, that happens to Dr. Strange. And it's his astral body. It's his astral body. So there were so many things that I had in the dream that were in that movie. So, I like this death in 3 worlds, this a spiritual world, physical world, astral world, perhaps.
Yeah.
What you do, what you say, what you use.
Wow.
So change what you do, change what you say, change what you use.
Right.
Yeah.
Astral traveling in bed. I see my body laying in bed, but I'm out of body. Okay. That's very possible as well. And hypnosis says transparent transitions. Because you can see
say that 3 times.
I can't do that.
I love that.
Barely get it out once.
Transparent transitions. Transparent.
I certainly can't say that very well. Yeah.
No. No, Doc. Yeah.
Well, certainly food for thought. Now, if you queue up a movie and you see that, then you let us know next week.
Okay.
Because I think we are being prepared for at least I am. Because I've had them once before. I've had a precognitive dream, and it was about a death of someone in my family, and it came true like within a day or 2. but it was confusing because I thought it was somebody else that was going to die and not who died. But it was a family member. So yeah, it's getting used to that. But yeah, it's the threes always go to a 6 or a 9, and remember that.
Yeah.
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 Wow,
I get a lot of 3s and 6s and 9s. Yeah.
Right?
that's amazing. Do
And
you?
it always adds up to or reduces to 9 plus 9 is 18, which reduces to a 9.
9. Yeah.
3 plus 3 is 6. 6 plus
I
6 is
never
12, which
I
reduces
could
to
never
3.
do that. I could never do multiplication tables. And the only one my teacher taught me was, you must have learned the trick of 9s. Have you? You put 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
No.
Oh, yes.
Nobody told me that. Hey.
Nuns taught you and you didn't learn that?
Comments are was were be been. I got all that.
It was
then.
the only one I could ever figure out because it was
Oh my
so
gosh.
easy.
You know, I love times tables.
Yeah.
But beyond that, I was lost. I could divide and I could
Yeah.
multiply.
Math and me are no good. No, I can't even.
Forget
I'll be in class and I'll say, okay, I got to divide you up into some groups here. How about we have 3 groups of 5? And then we always have 3 left over somewhere. And finally, I just turned it over and I said, somebody figure out how to divvy us all up into groups, equal groups. Figure it out. Oh my God.
That's hilarious.
Wow. All right. So this is not me. This is Froxy. Froxy sent me this in an email. Thank you, Froxy. A few months after her husband, Robert, passed, she got a phone call. And remember, she's the one that there's the other guy that she didn't choose. We've talked about on the show before. Okay.
Yeah.
When I answered it, it was static, but I heard a very faint voice in the background calling my name. My first instinct was that it was Robert's voice. And I said his name a few times, but could not make out the reply. As the static got worse, then it was gone. I always believed that it was him. But could it have been my imagination?
Can I see the first part of it again?
Yeah, please.
Incident
to discuss.
Past.
Okay. Froxy, I've had a similar thing happen. I had a friend dying of cancer. And we called ourselves the Dueling Witches because I did the Wicked Witch of the West on my front lawn every Halloween for 30 years. And she appeared on stage and did it in local theater. And every year she played a Falba. And so it was getting near the time where she was going to go. And I couldn't go see her because I lived in Virginia and she's here in Michigan. And I had no idea she had died the day before. And then that morning I saw the post that she had gone. And so I, was working on taxes or something. And I got a phone call. I got a phone call that came from my house line to my cell phone. And we were always trying to outwitch each other. When I said, hello, I heard her voice and it was laughing. Now, I called myself on my home phone when I'm nowhere near my home phone. And the only thing near me was the cell phone. So that was her. I had been outwitched. And I believe that what you think happened here is definitely
true. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You too, Teri? Yeah.
Yeah. I had a similar thing when my dad and my stepmom passed. They would hang out at the house, and like before a doorbell would ring or the phone would ring, they'd be like, Teri, Teresa K, the phone. And I'd hear their voices and then it would ring or the doorbell would ring. And so yeah, that's how they can communicate through that frequency. through
Wow.
technology.
Yeah.
And
That's true. That's
it
true.
didn't last for a long time. They weren't able to do it for a long time, but they'd come to me in my dreams after that.
Uh-huh. Wow.
So
You know, and,
Reminds
and
me of Peggy Sue Got Married. Remember that when she talked to her grandma on the phone?
mhm. Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
What, Diana?
well, all I was going to say is the frequency that runs through these lines is so much faster. But it was that white noise that you could get on a radio or that you could get on a landline
Mhm.
that we just, this goes so much faster. It's not
Yeah.
the same. It's not a landline. It's out there somewhere, and it's being shot down from
Right.
Tesla and his friends.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
So
So
yeah,
the other thing is, if I'm not suggesting that this is the same thing, but there is a thing called a spirit box that people use to hear spirits come through,
yes,
and it has static.
yes,
It's
Yeah.
because you don't get a clear message, but when you play it back, you can hear it. You can hear
Right.
words. So yes, I really think he used the telephone as a communication box for you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so good.
That's beautiful, Froxy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
Thank you for bringing that to us. It sounds like you and your husband had quite the connection, Froxy. And even your other paramour that you didn't marry. It's like you three were meant to be in this lifetime together. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really
There was
does.
an attraction there.
There was. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
Oh,
That's amazing.
Thank you so much. All right. So Patricia had a dream where she made an appointment with a man for advice. He passed it on to somebody else and said he doesn't do it anymore. Received a vase of flowers. What does this mean? Oh, so he's passing it on.
Did he give you the flowers, Patricia? Or did you know?
Did you know who gave you the flowers? Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. Let me give
and
her
do
a
you know
minute.
what kind they were?
Yeah, that's always good too. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Go ahead, Teri.
oh, she says, I don't know if the flowers came from him. Yeah.
Okay.
Patricia. Oh, go ahead, Allie.
Well,
Did the flowers come in real life? I'm sorry.
Oh, no, she just says, I don't know if the flowers came from him. But I think the flowers she got were in the dream. If I'm wrong,
okay.
Patricia, please
Yeah.
say so. Yeah, I think that's what she meant. My feeling is this person doesn't do what they used to do anymore. And I'm wondering if this person was someone from the other side. And now they're over there and they're going to pass it along to somebody else that does it here to give you the advice that you need. And the flowers could have just been, sending love to you and saying, I'm sorry, I can't help you like I used to help you, but I've got it set up that you're going to meet with someone who can help you. That's kind of what I get, but ladies, please give us your. Yeah.
Passing it on to someone who is already your guide, giving them that information. Someone who is maybe an ancestor who watches over with you normally anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the gift of flowers, well, that's a representation of love
It is. No matter what they are, unless they're weeds. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Or blossoming. Yeah. So it does. I like that it's maybe he was a guide for some time.
Right.
And that's why you went to him for advice, Patricia. And now he's not, like, he's moved on and there's a new guide that's come in.
Mm-hmm.
And the flowers could be like that graduation ceremony, a blossoming.
Yeah.
So,
or I have to leave now, but this person will take care of what your needs are. Yeah. Makes me think of the old story. I don't know if you've Appointment in Samsara. I don't know if you've heard this story. Yes. Where this guy says that how did it go? It's very short, but it's like if you go to Samsara tonight, you'll be killed. You know, it's a story like a Muslim Islamic story, and so the guy does everything he can to go somewhere else or whatever, and the devil finds him anyway because he heard that he wasn't going to meet him there, so he went to the other place he said he was going to go. It was like whatever it is that your fate is, you can't escape it. In other words, it's going to find you. And I don't think this is I'm not saying this is ominous in any way. It just reminded me of that story. But I really do love that explanation. I do think it's a guide that says, you know, I've got you this far. You had an appointment with me because you know I would be there. But I'm going to turn you over to this person who's going to escort you on the rest of the way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And if you knew what kind of flowers, were they roses, lily of the valley, or what, you know? I mean, that can also have a representation.
Yeah.
Yes, maybe a
Yeah.
mentor had passed, a teacher or past teacher, someone who had respected.
Somebody you didn't know passed and you found out they passed. Yeah, that's very true. Yeah. Maybe one of your first dance teachers or something like that. You know, somebody that you don't see all the time, but you hear later on that they're gone. Yeah.
Good one.
Okay.
Good one, Rossi. Good one.
Yeah. You don't have to remember. I think the flowers were more of a gesture of love. And it didn't matter what they were to you. It was like, I can't help you, but you know, I love you, and I was so happy to share your journey with you. Yeah. Yes, Morella. Next guide switching. That's right. It's your turn. That's right. That's right. I like that.
Yeah.
And Worry Girl, you are right. A symbol of the soul opening up. The rose is the same as the lotus. Different reasons. Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Blossoming.
Marianne was right, Warrior Girl. Don't ever doubt your very high intellectual understanding of what's going on, or spiritual understanding, rather.
Exactly.
Yeah. Thanks, Patricia, for sharing it with us. I hope it makes sense to you. And of course, if you think it's something else, and that may show up or not, then of course your first reaction is more important than what we have to say, because we're just, you know, we're not you. But I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah. So Linda Kennedy, while sleeping, my grandfather came to me to let me know my brother was with him, so not to worry. Oh, that was a wonderful visitation, Linda. Yes, it is a great peace in the family.
Yeah.
I love it when they come visit us. I don't want to wake up. Yeah. So you have the gift, Linda. You have the gift. They knew they could come and tell you that, and that the message would come through.
Right.
I really think so. And you remembered it. So
I just love Linda's picture. It's always,
I know, isn't it?
cool to
She's
see.
so pretty. She really is.
I love her smile.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's what a gift. That's beautiful.
Absolutely. So Willow, it's good to see you. I hope you've been doing well. I was being lectured by a man, and a lady stepped in and said, "Hey, Edward, haven't we tormented her enough? It is time." What was that about? He's not a guide of mine. Oh, that sounds like your ex.
Well, Edward's my father's name.
Your ex torments you. It doesn't mean it has to look like your ex. It could represent the male species, so to speak.
And Edward is a name that does, it's the name of kings.
But I love that a woman stepped in, because women do that.
Yeah.
Women recognize when other women need, not rescuing. That sounds too weak, but you know what I mean. It's like, let's step in and help empower our sister here. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And it could be that he being part of your subconscious that judges you, right? Since he was lecturing you. So the part of yourself and we all have that says, "Oh, why did you do this? You know, I can't believe you did
Angel
that."
and devil.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. And then the other part of you is like, honey, we're not having that anymore. So that's really good, Willow. Exactly.
Yes, Willow.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, we could dance like a flapper that way too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. I think that was a really good dream. I think that's you knowing that you can stand up for yourself.
Right.
And
Yeah.
you know you've been tormented enough, and it's over. No more. You're not going to do this to me anymore.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Putting
Praise
your
God.
best Lilith on.
Yeah. What's that song? We're not gonna take it
That's right.
You're not gonna take it.
anymore.
Oh, yeah. Is there an Edward thing with you, Willow? So the English name Edward means prosperous guardian.
Kings.
Maybe you don't need to be you don't need to be have a guardian anymore. You're old enough to stand up for yourself. You've been tormented enough.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you. No,
Maybe
Edward.
that's it.
Oh yeah. I like that guardian idea.
Yeah.
Rossi says the patriarchy is put in its place by the sacred feminine.
Yep.
Rossi, you sure you
Knock over
you don't know about dreams? She's coming to my dream class, and she already knows a lot. Yeah.
She does.
Good.
Yeah.
She really does.
She
Yeah.
does. Yeah. Good for you. Chris, I see you have here not much luck reaching out to departed family or friends. Don't be too discouraged, Chris, because sometimes it takes a while unless you're dreaming and you're able to get into that dream state and have them come to you. The only other way I could suggest that you try is maybe to get yourself some cards. Like I have this wonderful deck of cards that actually is called the Beloved Dead. And it's almost as though it's a tool to help you connect with the other side. It doesn't mean that you have to always use it, but it's a way of knowing it. And there's a lot of other ways you can remember too. Smells, if you're smelling things. Oh, you got the relative tarot. Another
They
way.
go together.
They go together. I just don't
Same
read the
author.
tarot. So yeah. You may get smells, you may get songs that they liked. You may get movies they liked. You may get invitations or see something that they liked. There's a lot of ways for them to reach back to you. So
And-
don't get discouraged. Yeah.
And perhaps you're not recalling it when you wake.
Could be.
Yeah.
That's very true. That's very
So
true.
right? You could try
Mhm.
lucid dreams like in the afternoon where you just at tea time.
Yeah.
Don't drink the tea until you take a minute to meditate and
Mhm.
just really calm your bodies and open your mind and
Mhm.
see what comes through.
Yep. Absolutely. Or I'll stumble upon something like my mother's writing. I'll find I'll find an old letter or something. That can happen. Terry?
Yeah.
So-
Yeah.
Yeah.
They may be showing you in signs and omens. Absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. If you have like a piece of jewelry or like you said, a letter or something that belonged to them, what's that called? Trichometry?
Yes, psychometry. Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
And sometimes that's an easy way to kind of get into to touch them.
Yeah.
In touch with them.
Yep. That is.
Yeah.
It is. All right. Julie, I had to put this up. Edward Scissorhands, cut those ties.
Amen. Yep.
Ah,
Gone. Gone.
my goodness. Oh,
Love that, Chili.
wow. Yes. Anyway, Chris, thank you for being here. I've not seen you here before, and we welcome you to the show. So, yeah, just don't become too discouraged because sometimes it does. It takes, and we have to let it go. It's like when we really want to reach out to get them, we're trying too hard, and they're like, just let it go. We'll come see you when we're ready to come see you. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wiki, she's trying to find you. She's trying to reach you.
Yeah.
Wiki said she
Oh, a letter from
found
your
a letter
aunt.
from
Okay.
her aunt.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Look at that letter and see what she says in it.
And
because
look
it
at
might
the
be a
date.
message. Yeah.
What's the date?
Yep. Hi, Kate.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the date? What did she? I mean, I'll open my father's diary sometimes to a random page, and I'll get a message that he wrote 30
Wow.
years ago or something, and it really never ceases to amaze me that
Why
that's
is-
possible.
right. That's awesome. And
Yep.
Is there a postmark? Do you have an envelope for it? Is there a postmark on there? You know,
Yeah.
lots of fodder there.
Yep. So Sam, I think the reason you may not remember all of your dreams is when we remember them really, really clearly, it's a very important message for us. But we dismiss them for so long. You know, have you ever had a weird dream and you say to somebody, "Oh, I had this weird dream," and they go, "It was just a dream."
Yeah.
It's, you know, let's just dismiss you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Hi, Kate. It's nice to see you. Oh, taking a break. Okay. That's
Oh,
good. That's good. Oh, she was thanking you for taking care of I'm sorry, I missed she was thanking me for taking care of my mom who passed a few months before her. Oh, she's saying they're together. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
They're together. Wiki.
Yeah.
That was it. Says we're here now and we're looking down on you, you know? Yeah.
Now they're both taking care of you.
Ah, they helped bring your puppy to you.
Yeah.
Oh,
I love that.
okay. That's awesome. Rossi said, as I awake, I saw a tiger. Another day, I saw a lynx. She said she doesn't remember her dreams, but she sees them.
You
That's
have
really
visions, Frosty. Yeah.
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 Those are for me, they're both the divine feminine.
Big cat energy.
Yeah,
Mhm.
big cat
Yeah.
energy. And Durga Ma. And Durga was like the mother of the universe and the slayer of misinformation
Mhm.
or demons. So I think
Yeah.
you're just coming into your power, young lady.
Right?
Yeah.
And all that cat power.
Yeah.
Strength.
Mhm.
The
And
strength
they know you're a cat person because you have your picture of your cat. It's like
Right?
we're going to bring you what you feel comfortable with. Yeah, we're going to bring you.
Exactly.
Yeah. Mhm.
Exactly.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, you are coming into your power. Wowee. Oh, here she comes. Watch out, boy, she'll chew you up. She saw John Oates and gave him a ride home.
Oh,
And
thank
we were
you.
Really? Well, why didn't she call me?
Watch out, boy.
Abandoned luncheonette. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Daryl wasn't with him. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. But you were apologizing to each other for arguing. Okay. So you were apologizing for wasting time on something that wasn't necessary to do. But you said you remember being in a little neighborhood in Snohomish, Washington. So is this a memory, not with John Oates, of course, but is this a place that you used to go, let's say in 85 or 86 maybe, and you heard the songs that they sang then? And I don't know.
Oh, she said she's not sure, but he just released a new single.
Okay. 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 So did a few other people that have been gone for, it was Prince, I think. Prince just released a new song. And Freddie Mercury did. Well, I mean, I know it wasn't him or Prince, but you know what I mean. Yeah.
But unrecorded material that had
Recording material. Yeah.
previously.
And I believe that they did a Beatles song with John Lennon that they released. Yeah. So we're getting this AI stuff that's taking, and maybe some people would argue with that. I'm not saying he was AI though.
No,
but,
and those are from the vaults, stuff that they had already recorded, not necessarily artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. She says she was in Santa Cruz in the 80s.
Oh, Santa Cruz.
Santa Cruz.
Wow.
Yeah. It feels like he would be a part of yourself if you looked at it that way, that has a very harmonious.
Yep.
Like the man of harmony, or the that brings in all that synchronicities. So I like what Mary says too. Yeah.
Absolutely, because we don't take the time to see everything that's around us. That really is like a warning. And what I thought was really, just before I came on the show, one of my dogs, all she does is bark all the time. She's a puppy. She bark. And Keith said, April, who's April Joy, she's out there looking at something and she's just looking riveted at it. like it's the first time she ever saw it. And he went out and looked out the window, and it was a mother deer and 2 babies. And the dog never barked at and she does bark at them. She does if she sees them usually. I know.
Bark
So
at the
even
babies.
animals, yeah, even animals are seeing synchronous events. I think it was like a mother and baby situation. Yeah.
And understood. Of course. Of course.
Uh-huh.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so we got a couple more. Lorraine Orr said, Teri, this is ironic. Earlier today, I was hoping to have a reading about a worry and a dream. So there you go. So she says, I'm worried about my health, and also who was that in my horrible dream last night?
Any other events that you recall from your horrible dream last night that you can share with us?
Yeah. Is there anything, what made it horrible? Was there some person in it that was?
Or your worry about your health and that this is going to attack you and be the end of you?
Oh, that's very true. You could be thinking, my time is almost up because this person is showing up, because you're worried about what your health is and how you have to, and what you might hear. Because, fear is a motivator for us in our dreams and nightmares. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. It feels like being, like you said, being worried about your health. I mean, that fear component, and then having a horrible dream. Yeah, you're going to have horrible dreams when you've got a lot of fear. We've got a lot of trauma in our lives. It's like a wake up call. It's like, okay, I'm going to give you a nightmare tonight, like Edward did to Willow, right? Somebody stepped in and said, that's enough already. She's been through it. I feel like somebody needs to step up for you, Lorraine, and say you've been through it.
Advocate for you. Advocate. Yeah.
Yeah.
But at the very least, go have your health checked out, Lorraine, because you wouldn't get, if you're worried about it, it does show up, and it shows up more as something fearful or horrible than what it might not be, that very thing. It's like our worst fears overtake us, and they just happen to follow you into your dreams.
Yeah, they do. It's always I'll have a lot of the world is ending dreams.
Yeah.
And it's like,
uh-oh.
Yeah.
You froze, Teri.
You froze right then.
Oh, I did.
Oh, end of the world. What?
That's it, man. That's it.
Oh, Teri, that was perfect timing, honestly.
I mean, talk about synchronicities.
I know.
Yeah. There you go.
That's amazing.
Annie Barrett, we love you.
Oh my goodness. All right, so we got 1, 2, 3, 3 more. But Willow also had said, just to bring this in, that she has more dream panic attacks than awake ones, but she has a series of anxiety attacks that can last an hour to a few days. So that's probably what it was. It was Edward represented your fear, and the lady represented you saying, stop, don't worry, you've been tormented enough. Yeah. That's a good piece of information to know, Willow, that you told us that. Yeah.
I would pull her in more often, Willow. Talk to her before you go to bed.
Yeah.
Say, watch out for me tonight.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
Keep those men away from me. Those creepy men. Yes. Okay, Imelda, you dreamt you died. You saw yourself sleeping while you hovered over, and then you woke up. I tried falling back to sleep because it felt so good. I wouldn't even know how to explain it. They say that when you're in that position, you don't want to come back, Imelda, even if you were just sleeping and remember it. It's such a peaceful place. People don't want to come back. And sometimes they actually argue with whoever, St. Peter or whoever's over
the big
there.
guy.
Big guy. Yeah. It felt so good. Yeah, I understand what that feeling is. It's like having a dream and you're right at the apex of this wonderful, you're about to kiss Prince Charming or something, and then you wake up.
The best Edward you could ever meet.
Yeah,
I'm the one in that dream.
yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
I've had those dreams or in visions when I saw my death, and it probably brought me the most peace. And I tell you what, that helped me a lot with fear, because fear of death is really our biggest fear.
Right.
And it's like, and seeing what a peaceful death it was, and my guides telling me, you never really had to worry.
right.
And Wiki asked, are you sure you weren't really astral projecting? And that's a possibility too.
Yeah.
That's true, Nelda, where you were out there free and you were floating and, and then you had to come back into your heavy body. And I don't mean you're fat. I just mean the energy of coming back into the body is very
Gravity.
heavy. Yeah.
Yeah. Dense. This planet's very dense. It's like King Kong.
Yeah.
After floating like that, heck yeah.
Yeah. Who's that guy? The dinosaurs, the little ones, little hands. Can't remember.
Not Barney. Not Barney.
T-Rex.
T-Rex.
Oh, yes.
He couldn't even feed himself. I mean, his sinus cavities were so big because his head was so heavy, and he leaned down, kind of like somebody.
Yeah.
Anyway, Imelda, I'm glad you're no longer afraid. That really is growth, because when you're no longer afraid, you're not afraid to. When you're not afraid to die, you can truly live. That's the truth.
It's
really
fun.
is. It is.
Yeah, let the fun begin, right?
Yep.
Just put on your dragon costume and go for it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Or the T-Rex. Yeah. Oh my goodness. So Kimber had a dream. Here, a giant boa constrictor was on my back, and a man said, if you move, he will bite. So scary. Any idea what? Oh, a boa constrictor.
Wow.
Burden. Yeah. And, facing your fear. And it was hard for you to face that fear because it was on your back.
True.
Yeah.
Get off my back.
Got a monkey on your back.
And a boa constrictor squeezes you too tight. So you're feeling maybe in some aspect of your life, you're feeling squeezed.
Squozed? I like squozed better.
Yeah.
Squished.
Squished.
And squished, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because what will happen is that you can't breathe. And what is it when you're carrying too much of a load? Sometimes we have a anxiety attack.
Yeah.
And that's what you had.
Right. Willow can testify to that.
Yeah. And so if you're carrying that burden and all that extra stuff around all the time, then it will swallow you up. You won't be able to go. So yeah, if you can release and surrender, Kimber, something, it feels like, and we carry so much stress on our back too, don't we?
We do. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yes, snakes do shed, symbols of shredding outdated beliefs. And also could be Kundalini. There's one. Yeah, there's another one.
I was thinking about that too, because the Kundalini goes up the spine.
It does.
Right. But
so
he was being told, don't move, he will bite.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think there was, simply because of that it's not so much about the Kundalini, because I'm beyond that.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah. You get it. And it's interesting. It could just be, she could have just said there was a snake, but it was a giant yellow boa constrictor. That's pretty specific.
Right.
And being yellow, what about the color yellow? Anything
That's what color a lot of them are.
Okay.
So it was a recognition of what it was. Okay.
Yeah. Yellow is also golden, though.
It can be.
It can
but
be.
It's also third chakra, which is your gut, isn't it?
Yeah.
Solar
plexus, your ego.
Trust your gut. Yeah.
Yeah.
Trust your gut.
Yeah.
Lots of info in there. Lots of stuff going on in there.
Right.
But first and foremost, what do you think has you on restriction? What is it that's holding you back?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There you go. Something to think about, Kimber. Yeah.
And
And
who has
it is
power
scary
over-
because you don't want to get bitten. And
right?
and somebody's telling you not to move. Well, what the hell are you supposed to do? You can't sit there for the rest of your life and wonder what's going to. You have
Right.
to move.
Right.
Some point.
Well,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
who's trying to take your power away? He's telling you, yet
Mhm.
we know that it's with the cobra, but we know that snake charmers can
Yep.
prevent a snake from attacking or eating you
Mhm.
with a flute. Whether it's a cobra or a boa constrictor, they can be mesmerized.
Mhm.
So somebody is trying to take your power, keeps you on restriction.
But do remember, Kimber, that if you realize that everything in your dream is really what you feel about snakes, what you feel about feeling like something's on your back or what somebody would say to you, that is the most important part, not what we say. In other words, you hold the key to knowing what it, because there are some people that have giant yellow boa constrictors as pets.
Oh,
Yes.
And that wouldn't be a big deal for them if this dream came through. It would be like, oh yeah, my pet was hugging me or whatever it was.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
um,
Right.
Uh-huh.
I've got pictures of me holding one.
Yeah.
yeah,
There
I
you
love
go.
that, Mary. Yeah.
Yeah. Strength, protection, and resilience to adapt to challenging situations. Oh, there you go. Thank you, Mary.
I like that one.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good. Yeah. So you could turn that into a good situation, Kimber. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Maybe it's a good dream. It's telling you that you have the power. You have the power in your situation. Yeah.
Yeah. Love
Wow.
that.
Okay. So we have a couple more here. Let's see. Samantha. In my dream, I was having an argument with people, and then a man started to sing from Mr. Big, I Am the One. It made me very happy and warm. It was a lovely dream.
Mr. Big.
I don't know who that is.
You don't remember that band?
No.
Huh.
No. Mm-mm. Wow.
Hmm.
But it's a memory that's making her happy, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So when you were having an argument and then you flipped to see some memory that brought you happiness, it was the ability to take your situation and move it into something more positive, perhaps.
Yeah. To recognize your wealth and your divinity,
Yeah.
because I am the one. That is like a major I am.
Are you an
True
Aries,
thinking.
Samantha?
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, he was on Sex. That's the guy in Sex on the
That
City. All
is
right,
the
now I
way.
know who you're
Oh,
talking about.
Oh, that Mr. Big.
Kristen
Yeah.
Moore. Yeah.
There was a band called Mr. Big.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, this
I
was.
think.
I think she means
Sex in the City.
Sex in the City.
Oh, he's quite handsome, I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tyler likes him.
Tyler really likes him. Yeah. KK was visited by a white owl in her vision last night, and it keeps coming to me in my mind's eye all day. That's a beautiful vision. Wow.
You know, KK, there are so many big birds around right now. Everywhere I look, I see big birds since the eclipse.
Yep.
And it's just been yesterday we're sitting outside and there's so many out there.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they're bringing us messages. So it'll be up to you what it is, but I do feel like this is a message and probably a new guide coming in, elemental guide.
And just because Mr. Big was a band.
Oh, okay. No, we trust you. I know.
I know.
She may
I
not
know.
have been in that.
Well, I
age
had to
group,
prove it
you
to
know.
myself. I'm not just losing it.
If you said Mr. T, I would have known. But
Yeah.
now, this has been happening the last 2 days, everybody. I put up a thing that said, please, everybody, check and see whether or not you subscribe to the channels that you want to be subscribed to, basically.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
YouTube is dropping subscribers. They do this at very random times. And I've had no less than 10 people tell me I wasn't subscribed to your channel. And they've always been here. It isn't like they're brand new people. So
Yeah.
I'm just giving you that, Teri, so that you know, or anybody else who has
Thank
a channel
you.
here.
Yeah, I'll mention it to everybody.
Okay. The other thing is, if I put in the chat your channel, let's say, Teri, the link to your channel, sometimes people can go there and subscribe, but it kicks you out after a couple days. So
Yeah.
just a way to think about it.
Yeah, we don't do that anymore.
Oh, it did that to you, Christine. That is so weird.
Wow.
Oh, it is Mr. Big, the band. I'm sorry. It is Mr. Big. Oh, you were right. You were right. Okay.
Right. And
Yay.
the song To Be With You is the song that was probably their biggest hit from their first album.
Okay. Okay. Cool. So Carolyn was in my show, my show with Marianne. She saw a gray on my left side. She said it was transparent, which a person could take for a spirit or a ghost. It's a visit to impart knowledge. Now, Teri,
Wow.
you're having Dr. Gale come on, aren't you?
Yeah. Yeah, Saturday.
Yeah. A lot of extra sensory, extraterrestrial activity. Yeah.
A
I think
lot.
so. A lot
There's
because of what's
so
going
much.
on in the country and their nuclear. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well-
there's so much right now, and there's so many guardians here right now, you guys. And
Exactly.
you should feel really protected because
Wow.
even
Yeah.
when I go out, I can see them.
Well, and even one of the Akashic reads I had earlier today,
Uh-huh.
I saw them in the future on a spaceship, and they appeared to be like hybrids. They weren't humans. They were humanoid, but they weren't humans. And it was a role reversal for this person because the original vision was it was in the 20s and she was hanging laundry.
Wow.
Teri's and illumination portal. Randy, what?
Randy, that's not
Yeah.
right. I'm
Linda
sorry.
saw the face too. Wow.
Wow.
Usually my dad's back there, not a gray, but okay.
He might be playing.
Yeah. But I just want everybody to know this is happening. For those of you who
Yeah.
are interested, and you know what else happened? I had 0 people according to the group of people that are here, and now I have 35. You guys didn't disappear and come all back.
And
I didn't have 0. So
No.
there's some wonky stuff going on.
I saw
didn't
that
do it.
too. There were 60 for a
Oh.
while, and then all of a sudden
Okay.
it went down to 5 and 4
And 0. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, wow, that's so weird.
Oh, wow,
Yeah.
I was right. You still
Wow.
see it, Linda? Really? Are you sure it's not? It might be this. I don't know. I have a lamp over here, kind of grayish, but anyway,
Yeah.
it's okay. You can see it if you want. Thanks, Carolyn. And Mary's final for tonight. Do you ever watch Matt Frazier? I have, Mary. He has a picture of the big white angel wings. I imagine those wings wrapping me up when I need comfort. Was so surprised when I saw his picture of the wings because I see. Yeah, I don't know if there was something else, but Matt Frazier just wrote a book and he has a YouTube channel. I do know that. And the book was pretty popular for a while there. I believe it came out in the fall. So,
Huh.
yeah.
I'll have to go. He sounds really familiar. I'm going to go look for him.
Okay.
But yeah, I always see that, Mary, in meditations that when our angels come in, they just hold us.
They do.
Yeah. Yeah. Just wrap it
And a
around.
lot of people think that angels are ETs, or the other way around. Yeah.
Well, they're not here
Right.
in this dimension,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, we're about an hour and almost 15 minutes, so we're going to take off. But thank you, everybody, for being here, bringing us your dreams. And Carolyn, much love to you, sweetheart.
Yeah.
Wish you were with us, but we understand. And Kelly will be back next week after her little time away. And we will see you on Thursday. The 3 of us will be back together at 2:30 Pacific, 5:30 Eastern Time for meeting with the mediums. So
Yay.
thanks, everybody. Thanks for everything. Much love to you all.
Thank you.
Bye,
Thank you.
everybody.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye, everybody.